Okay, so our next city who's going to join me is Nairobi. So we have Maxwel from Kilimanjaro Blind Trust Africa going to join me to answer this next question that we've got. Remember, everyone in the audience and those of you online, if you have any questions you'd like to put to any of our speakers or any of our guests here this morning, then please do make a note of them and jot them down. We'll try and get to some of those at the end. So Maxwel, hello.
Yes, hello.
Hello. So the question that I'll put to you is, Nairobi is ranked as one of the most innovative cities in Africa with entrepreneurial spirit and tech investors. So how is innovation and entrepreneurship being utilised to improve inclusion in your city?
Yes, wow. I mean, in Nairobi, like in any other, cities around the world, of course, we leverage on technology and innovation to improve on the lives of persons with disabilities. And again, just to refer to what the representative of WHO, mentioned about the demand for assistive technologies, for instance, about 2.5 billion. That's already a very huge market that any innovative and tech-driven society would already look like a huge market to tap into. And of course, in Nairobi we have a very vibrant ecosystem of innovators, and we've seen a lot of accelerator programs currently coming up where there's a lot of innovations for assistive technologies among especially among the youthful population. And this mostly is driven by non-governmental organizations. One of them even being the the GDI Hub accelerator program. Of course, the Innovate Now accelerator program that supports innovators to develop 80 innovations for persons with disabilities. But most importantly is also the understanding of education as a fulcrum of the society and how we can use education to promote inclusion. Because the more we ensure that persons with disability are able to access quality inclusive education and live independent life, then the more we are able to, ensure that we promote inclusion in the society. So we are also seeing an increasing, edtech innovations to ensure that persons with disability are able to go to school and access quality inclusive education. And this is also supported by policy changes, of course, from the government, where we're seeing more friendly policies that allow innovations, policy changes that allow access to inclusive education, and of course now education being a right and not necessarily a choice. So that in a way has led to some significant change in as far as inclusion for persons with disabilities is concerned. But again, most importantly, there are also organizations, for instance, like my organization, Kilimanjaro Blind Trust Africa, where besides, supporting learners with visual impairment to access education, we are also into employment. So we support, and this is something that is done by other players in the sector, where we support employers to leverage on technology to bring on board persons with disability into employment, and not necessarily see them as a burden in the society. Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah. Brilliant. Thank you, Maxwel. Fantastic. Yes.